The injury bug has officially hit the San Francisco 49ers, as I'm sure you've already heard about Ray McLeod and the broken wrist that he suffered yesterday and will be out for up to 8 weeks with surgery. But from Kyle Shanahan, that is not the only injury that the 49ers have to report. They have three additional injuries, starting with tight end George Kittle, who has apparently suffered an abductor strain. On top of that, we have a defensive end, Drake Jackson, who has also suffered a hamstring. Linebacker, Dre Greenlaw, hamstring as well. So the San Francisco 49ers definitely have been met by the good old injury bug that we know oh so well. Again, I don't think any of these three injuries have any type of severity where these players will miss actual game time in the regular season. I would imagine that these guys probably aren't going to be available for the preseason game this coming weekend on Sunday against the Raiders. It's still a bit TBD of when they will actually return. Obviously, when you start getting into soft tissue injuries, you have to be a little bit more careful, especially for re-injury and retweaking. So you got to make sure you're back fully and ready to go. And it might limit their practices and preseason availabilities, like I've already said. But I don't anticipate that any of these guys will miss regular season action. It puts certain positions in a tough spot because, as we already know, Drake Jackson is filling in or helping fill in for Nick Bosa, who's not practicing. George Kittle, who's obviously the leader of the tight end group, will now have to be backfilled by guys like Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly, Cameron Latu, and Braden Willis, and Troy Fumagalli. And with Dre Greenlaw, luckily the 49ers have a ton of depth at linebacker, and a ton of guys can step in, whether it's Oren Burks, Marcelino McCray Ball, Demetrius Flanagan Fowles, D. Winters, Jalen Graham. The list, there's quite a bit of guys that could fill in there. So we do know that the depth will get tested early with this team. We've already seen it with the offensive line throughout training camp. Now it has hit the linebacker, defensive line, tight end, and wide receiver room. So we will continue to see how it goes. We have one more day of joint practices. Those will start tomorrow. And the hope is that this team can get out without any additional injuries. But of course, we will be here to let you know if anything pops off. So as a result, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned because we're going to let you know if anything goes off. All right. So hopefully this is the last time we're coming to you with an injury report this preseason, but I think that's being optimistic. So, hey, just stay tuned.